the ultimate. Can't fuck with it. The ultimate.
This is Constant Elevation, the show for rising military and community leaders that isn't waiting for the future, we are defining the future. I'm your host, Gabriel Bracavilla, and you already know, can't stop, won't stop.
The ultimate.
3, 2, 1. Welcome back, everybody. Gabe Brock here. You're watching to the Constant Elevation podcast. Little change of scenery here. I'm actually on site. This is pretty exciting. I'm on site at one of my other places of employment here at Revival Fitness, and very, very excited to have the one and the only Taylor Bialkowski on the show. Hey, thanks for joining us, Taylor.
You're welcome.
Yeah. So we have also. If you're not familiar with Revival, we're actually shooting this in the gym. In the background, shout out to Sarah Jennings, who's lifting some weights. She better be snappy with her snatches, or else I'm going to have to coach her later, and then we're going to have to figure out how to, yep, you can flip me off, that's fine. Be better at your lifting, and then I don't have to tell these things to you. But yeah, very, very happy to shoot this week's episode here on site. And mainly because, as far as the military artist, if you know me, you know I'm about that fitness life, you know about that CrossFit, and I think it was this weekend actually was a really cool event that we had. We actually had the first annual Revival in-house competition, and I want to say to you and to Kyle and to Dave and to JC, thank you for putting that on. It was super duper
awesome.
Fun.
So much fun.
Yeah. This place was packed. We had 3 teams of 10.
3 teams of 20.
Really?
Yeah.
Whoa. There was a lot. There's a lot of people here. A lot of family members.
Yeah.
A lot of aggressively cheering on each other about stuff.
Oh yeah, it was awesome.
And so I was on Team Dave. We took a third, and then Team Taylor second, and then Team JC, shout out. They got the trophy in the front of the office. But what was your guys' energy and feelings wanting to put that on for us?
So we've done it a couple of years in a row over at our other gym, and it was awesome there too, but we just weren't really feeling it over there this year.
Okay.
So we wanted to kind of do something for the members, do something for the coaches, get a little community aspect going on.
I mean, considering, so you guys took over around the end of 2019.
Yeah.
And then the COVID stuff hit all of 2020. So it was we had to work hard, and I appreciate you guys' leadership to kind of keep us tied together as a community as much as we could.
Yeah.
And then when this came online, and I know we were trying to figure out, you got to pay attention to timing of what's going on in the county, what's going to be all the other stuff. And when it hit August, everybody was excited, including me. It was a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was awesome.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to next year.
Oh, we can't wait.
Next year.
Winter.
Yes,
Winter.
The winter. Winter's coming.
Games.
There's going to be some winter. See, if you're listening to this first, there's already going to be winter games. And it'll happen. Some version of it will happen.
Yeah,
so it'll be good.
Sure.
So, reason why I wanted to use, so if I think about all of the coaching staff here at Revival, I would consider myself I'm good at general coaching, and then I'm good at weightlifting coaching and decent at running.
Okay.
So if I was a gymnast, I would compete at maybe 2 to 3 events. You, however, I believe are an all-around.
Oh gosh.
Kind of you are, because you're not only one of the co-owners, you do the on-ramping for our athletes. So when the new athletes come in, you walk them through the proper movements, teach them all the principles, and then hand them over to us, the regular coaching staff, for us to coach, as well as yourself when you see them in the midday or their afternoon classes.
Yep.
And then you also do the newsletter, you do the community connection kind of stuff. But then the other piece that I want to talk to you about is nutrition. You're the nutrition subject matter expert here. Very easy, and it's going to be part of the experience here at Revival Fitness, because it's not just lifting weights and running and sweating all over the place. We try and treat fitness as a holistic approach. Right. So how did you get introduced into the nutrition side of the game?
So for as long as I can remember, I was pretty self-conscious growing up. I just never really loved my body. So as I got older, I tried every diet in the book, and I would just do it for a little while and then kind of fall off or fail or whatever the case may be.
Looks like everybody.
Yeah. And then come the end of 2019, I think it was, I started doing RP. Mm-hmm. And I remember specifically my stepmom made a cherry pie for my sister and I for Christmas. And I took it home and I ate probably 3/4 of it. And I looked at myself in the mirror the next day and was like, all right, you seriously need to get your shit together. Cause we can't do this anymore. Cause I was into working out and into the whole fitness thing. And I just knew that I didn't want to be just a regular person. I wanted to be extra. Mm-hmm. So I stuck to RP for like 3 months. I lost like 15 pounds, 10% body fat, got like super shredded. And then I met Kyle, and I maintained my weight pretty much for the next couple months. And then we went on an all-inclusive trip to Mexico, and I gained all my weight back.
Wow.
So it took like probably 3 or 4 months to like get back down to my original better body.
Sure.
And then from there, I started working with clients at Old Vine, our other gym. And then we did a couple of nutrition challenges, our Reach the Beach challenge. And then when we took over here, we started doing the same thing over here. So
I've been here for, I think I came here in the middle of 2019. There was none of that, and it was just
And then when I first came in, we did like the free challenge to start it off, kick it off, kind of like let people see the results, let the results speak for themselves, and so
That's
the rest is history.
There's definitely like when I saw some of the challenges coming about, I was like, yeah, I saw I understand how that's going to be a very much community kind of thing.
Yeah.
And I saw you like, I don't want to say like selling it hard, but like the Reach the Beach, people walking in, you got the big old sign here.
Right,
like,
the big
why
board.
You're not signed up?
Right.
I think we should talk about this stuff.
Right.
And
it was super cheap too. It's like $25 or something.
Sure.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are can be intimidated to do it on their own, which is
for
why
sure.
I think here and when they talk to you, it's going to be very tailored. Tailored a conversation to be like, what are their goals? What are some of their personalities, their lifestyles they're dealing with? And that way you can help them navigate depending on where they're at.
Exactly.
And develop a individual plan for success.
Right.
I've done WAG before, like when I was back in Hawaii, I did WAG.
Okay.
Same thing where I understood, I generally understood-ish like food categories things. And then I'm like, oh, there's all this science behind the whole stuff. And I think the science piece is where if you understand,
if you know it, it's super cool.
It is, and you can kind of look at the world a little bit differently.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I have built I've built behaviors now where I can take a look and I look at my plate, and be like, all right, I know what I need to have here.
Right.
Or I know what I'm doing later, so I know when to eat these kind of foods and those kind of foods.
Right.
And I'm a human being, and I will be like, also I'm on vacation, so I'm not going to make any of those choices.
Yes.
And then when I came back from vacation, I was like, that's why I was texting you. I was like, hey, so here's what I'm thinking. Here's the math that I think I'm going to do. You help me adjust what it is. And so I've been consistently, I think I'm like, day 19. Just logging every single time. And I'm like,
that's awesome.
Okay. So definitely the science part of nutrition. And then I would maybe have a different opinion. Equally, it's the habit forming piece.
Oh, for sure.
So
absolutely.
What do you think as far as when it comes to either like nutrition habits or why do you think nutrition has to be the foundation to any fitness program? CrossFit, P90X, Gold's Gym, whatever it is, why is nutrition always considered like the foundation?
So the biggest thing that I think would be like food is fuel, right? You're going to be using your carbs to provide energy, basically, especially during like the high intensity stuff that we do
like
here.
Like an all-day Saturday event?
Yeah, exactly.
I was eating
all
so
the
many
carbs.
That was fantastic.
Gummy candies,
Yeah.
coconut water, all that fun stuff. And then obviously like protein, you need to build muscle or keep your lean muscle. And then also build up the muscle that's broken down during our strength training. But basically nutrition has the most effect on your health and well-being.
Okay.
So that is why, in short, I would say it's the foundational piece.
And a lot of it can be, if you have your nutrition dialed in, I believe, like absent of exercise, and obviously we're not saying don't do anything, but absent of exercise,
you're still going to see awesome results even if you're not exercising, which I'm not saying don't.
Of course not. No, I would never say that either, but
Right.
like you can't, two parts. So one, you said food is fuel. And so you have to like consciously think about it like that. That's why I think where maybe when you started looking at it differently, you're like, hey, so this is actually affecting, I'm not
everything,
just shoving stuff in my mouth.
And that's another thing too. You want to like eat with purpose, right?
Sure.
So you don't just want to eat because you're like, yes, you're going to eat when you're hungry, but like you don't want to eat if you're bored.
Yeah.
If you're bored, you want to ask yourself, like, am I hungry enough to eat an apple? If the answer is yes, then okay, eat whatever.
Yep.
If the answer is no, then you're probably not that hungry.
And I think this is a very common kind of phrase as well, is you can't out train a shitty diet either. Like as much as
true. As much as you try, as much as you want it to be true, it just doesn't work.
And I think it's I've been, there's the other saying like, well, I work out so I can eat whatever I want. I'm like, to a degree, sort of.
Yeah.
But like my behaviors are already shaped enough to where like, no, I know, I know which foods, and there's a bunch. I think a lot of people, they get intimidated when they think it's a diet. Like, well, I'm only going to eat boiled chicken and broccoli.
Right,
like, no,
but no, your
have,
diet is your lifestyle.
Yes.
It's not just like something you're going to do for a couple days or a couple weeks or a couple months, and then you have to make it a long-term lifestyle.
I think it's when you can try out new stuff.
Yeah.
Right? You'd be like, I don't know. You go find like, and luckily we have the internet, and so we can look up all the recipes. You even you write cookbooks and menu items for us in the gym here.
Right.
That way, like for real, nobody has excuses. Here's the shopping list. Here's all the stuff.
Well, my biggest thing too is that when I'm craving something, like so let's say I want like something from Taco Bell, like a crunch wrap, like I will tailor that, no pun intended again, so that like I can eat those foods that I would normally eat out, but make them like a healthy version.
Dude,
so, like,
I saw Catherine's meme of you.
Oh my gosh.
Am I making another crunch wrap? Yes, I am. That was hilarious.
That was so funny.
Just the fact that like that was, I'm reading them all.
That's what came to her head.
That was hilarious. Hilarious.
That's how you know I'm into food.
There's the food prep kind of stuff as well. So we both do this. We do food prep on the week, or whenever we need to be doing food prep. Yeah, it's not even like a question. My kids know.
It's part of my weekend.
Yeah, my kids know that like it's like 8 o'clock in the morning, and I'm grilling.
Oh, I love doing it in the morning, getting it out of the way. I actually like look forward to it now. Yeah. Like meal prep to me is like super like relaxing. It's just like my me time. I prep for Kyle and myself, and it's just like.
Well, and also that time spent there is saving you time later.
Right.
Also saving yourself from making poor decisions.
Exactly.
So like in common Air Force organizations, you have, it's not a vending machine per se, just a unit snack bar. You buy stuff from Costco and then you pay whatever it is, right? So spoiler, there are probably hardly any healthy options in there.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was a lieutenant, I was like, so the purpose of the unit snack bar is to make money. It's not necessarily to be a nutritional option. Right. And so I was like, hey, maybe we should start putting like some fruit in here or some kind of like beef jerky or something. And they're like, shut up, LT. Nobody's gonna buy that. I was like, all right,
I'll buy it.
Which is fair. But then like as my career went on, you see people. I will say I've seen people who walk in 7:30. It's first thing. And they walk directly to the snack bar, and they walked out with a Snickers and a Sunkist. And I'm like,
gosh, that kills me.
Hey, sir, what are you doing? He's like, I'm eating
me.
breakfast. And I'm like, don't. What are you doing here?
You know, you're like really into nutrition when you see other people eating things, and it gives you anxiety.
Yeah.
Like, oh my gosh, how are you doing that to yourself?
And I'll check, like I've been to, like any, in an office environment, it's back-to-back meetings, whatever it is. And so I'll see one of my senior officers, and they'll just have like it's around 12 o'clock, and I'm a good wingman. I'm like, hey, ma'am, did you eat? She's like, I got something. I'm like, well, like what? She reaches into her desk. I'm like, oh, okay, maybe you have some snack bars or something. She pulls out like a peanut butter cup. I go,
perfect.
This is, we're not eating this today.
It's going to keep you full all day.
Yeah, she's like, this is all I need. I'm like, no, you don't. You're going to make poor decisions.
Oh my gosh.
So it's just not those nutrition pieces. But a lot of times, these are just, I mentioned earlier, they're habits. They're habits that are picked up that you don't really know that's happening because they're just kind of small changes, or it's just hella convenient for you. So what would be like, if you could recommend a couple like just really small changes of behaviors that just kind of would help you, so you're not intimidated by like the big, like joining a diet kind of thing, but just small lifestyle things that would be helpful?
I would say like always having a backup plan. So like for me, like what I tell my nutrition clients is always have like microwavable rice or like steamed veggies available, or like pre-cooked chicken. Like there's so many different ones. You could do like the rotisserie chickens, or you could do like the ones that like the grilled chicken that just comes in the bag, or like BJ's has this really good grilled chicken that comes on skewers. And like you don't have to do anything. You just literally like take it off the skewers. It's so delicious. The microwave rice, pop it in for 90 seconds. The veggies, same thing. You could sprinkle some like whatever seasoning you like on it. So easy.
Yeah, those
just
are
like make it as simple as possible.
That's where like we try and, if you you surround yourself with better choices, then you can only make better choices. Right. And so it's really easy. Maybe another quick thing is, if you're going to treat yourself to something, that treat cannot be in the house.
Right.
Like it needs to be like, because if it's in the house, it's going to be
I used to be
convenient.
that way with like cereal and granola. I would just like, if I had it, I would for the most part, be able to stay away from it. But then, like,
It's calling you.
yeah, it's calling me. And, like, I would be like, oh, I'm just going to have, like, a small handful. That's
Right.
fine. I'll be fine with that. And then I'll have the small handful, and then that turns into a bowl. And then that turns into, well, now I want a bowl with milk.
big
And then I'm like, well, now I want some more.
Yeah,
And it
yeah.
just turns into, like, half the box of cereal. And I'm like, well, regrets. Instant regrets.
Yep. I try and I'm not a big sweets person. Mine is
I
the,
wish.
the sugar version of alcohol. That's where it comes from. That's my choice. I'd rather have a beer.
Yeah.
But like the idea of no, we're gonna go out and go get ice cream from like Cold Stone or whatever
Right.
it is. It's a treat. But like those are physical.
You eat it, and then it's not in the house anymore.
Correct. And it's like it can't be an impulse thing. It's
Right.
like if we're out and about or whatever it is, I
Right.
can at least feel like because we get that, I'm like, all right, I gotta go walk around.
Yeah.
Like where are we going? I don't care if we're walking for like an hour. And so that treat yourself as you want to, but
Yeah.
don't have it become a repetitive habit
Right.
that you're just constantly reaching for it.
Right.
So yeah, surround
Agreed.
yourself with smart choices, and then
Yes.
also try and like keep those poorer choices away from you as much as
Yeah.
possible.
For sure.
What else? Any other small habits? Maybe one more.
Drink water, more water. That's always a key. So if you're hungry, or if like you think you're hungry and you might just be bored, drink like a glass of water and see how you feel after. Or like wait 20 minutes, see how you feel after.
That is not, especially in this 1 billion % humidity here in
Oh my
Maryland,
gosh.
and it's
It's
ridiculous.
insane.
Like I've been drinking water, and then even at the competition, my wife was like, "Hey, you got to drink like one thing of electrolytes and then another thing of 2 things of water."
Yeah.
I was like, "What?" She's like, "Did you see how much like sweaty McSweaterson you were? Like, you need to replenish all that."
Yeah.
And I go, "Okay, love." And so I was doing all that, but yeah, water can
Super
also
important.
I think it's an interesting point of like, are you hungry?
Right.
Maybe you're not. Maybe you're bored.
Yeah.
Maybe you're stressed.
Right.
Maybe you're feeling different emotions. Hunger is not the actual one.
Right.
So drinking water can just kind of maybe, it'll quench your thirst, but it'll just kind of
Right.
eliminate what you think you're feeling, and
Yeah.
then be like, actually, I'm not that bad.
Yeah. I also think keeping like a somewhat like scheduled eating plan is smart, a smart habit to get into.
Yep.
So like have breakfast around the same time every day, have lunch around the same time every day. That way when you go and like you have like an abnormal day, you can think like, oh, is this like actually hunger?
Yeah.
Like, am I actually hungry right now? Like,
I used to go to meetings where it was around my planned snack time,
okay.
and then I bring my food to the meeting.
Right.
And then someone's like, "Sir, are you gonna eat that?" I'm like, "You're the one that
100%.
planned the meeting." Yes. And I'm like,
This is my time
I'm
to
like,
eat.
this doesn't maintain itself. I'm going to definitely eat, so don't schedule meetings around my snack time. But I would also, nowadays I'm doing overnight oats. So I do
Okay.
overnight oats with
I love oats.
half a cup of egg whites and half a cup of Greek yogurt,
Ooh,
and then some peanut butter and jelly in there.
yum.
Dude, it's good. Oh, and it's like
Those are some of my favorite things.
7:30 morning briefing. As soon as that's done, I kind of spin around, give it a stir, and I'm like, And now people are like, what is that?
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, overnight oats. You need to try this.
And it's so easy.
Yeah.
Like, it makes things so easy for you in
Yep.
the morning.
It's so easy.
You don't have to
I also
make
get-
breakfast.
I also get so pissed off when I forget to make it, like the night. So now it's a thing of I'll go home, do my dishes, immediately make it.
Yeah.
Because if I don't,
There's your habit right
yeah,
there.
Yep.
Good habits.
Because I'll be caught up in the family, making
Right,
dinner, hanging
right.
out with the wife, whatever it is, and so I make it a priority. Like, no, I want to set myself up for success.
Now I'm hungry.
Yeah, for overnight oats. I had some eggs this morning, and so like yes, when I go to work, I already have my pre-made. I got some Korean chicken, some
Ooh.
salad, a cheese stick, and an apple.
Okay.
And I've
Perfect.
had that for the same. I get. What do you say when some people say like I don't want to get bored?
So what I do is I bulk prep everything. So I'll prep like a bunch of chicken, a bunch of ground beef, pork, couple different proteins, couple different veggies, couple different carbs.
Okay.
And then I kind of like mix and match as the
Okay.
week goes on. So I'll never like prep all my meals on Sunday, like put all my meals together for the
Sure.
week, just because I've done that before. Wednesday comes and you're like, I don't want this anymore. Like all the foods kind of like mesh together.
Mhm.
The tastes get all funky. So I just keep everything together separately. And then I can like mix and match throughout the week.
I think that makes sense, and definitely like I get a carryover leftovers, and
Okay.
leftovers for me ends up becoming a little bit more variety.
Yeah.
I'll eat the stuff. I'm like, I don't want this chicken anymore.
Yeah.
I want to have last night's whatever it is.
Yeah.
So I'll grab some. I actually be like in the middle of it. I'll be like, carve out a portion. Like, what are you doing? I'm like, my lunch for tomorrow.
Yeah,
Or I'm
right,
taking my
right.
tax. And but yeah, there's ways to, if there's some things you like, if you like the spicy stuff too. I find like if you think a meat is kind of bland, put some hot sauce
Spices,
on there.
yeah.
Bruh, spices
all the different
day.
spices are
Yes.
fine. You don't
So
have to
awesome.
really count that towards. And then sugar-free, like barbecue sauces. G. Hughes has a really good.
Okay.
I don't know if you ever tried it before. There's a bunch of different flavors. There's like honey, maple.
I'm assuming that the wife just buys smart stuff. And
Okay.
I'm gonna try this. I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
And I just know it's good. I know it's
Yeah.
inherently good for me. So
Right.
like, I'll try all the different flavors.
Yeah.
I think for her, she'd be like, although she doesn't like spicy, so I have to be like, buy spicy.
Yeah.
I don't like it. I'm like, it's not for you, baby. It's for so we'll have, but it's just another way to, like, for our family of 4, like just buying a rotisserie chicken. Like,
Right.
come on. Rotisserie chicken and salad.
So
all day.
good.
Yeah.
So good. I could eat that whole chicken
Yes.
in one sitting easily.
If I've, this is kind of weird and gross. When I'm TDY away from my family for like a week, I'm staying in a hotel, I will just go and buy rotisserie chicken and a bag of lettuce with no utensils, and I'll just be in the hotel room and just.
I love it.
Yeah, and I'm like, she's like, "What are you doing?" And I'm like, "I'm eating dinner." Like, it's the
That's perfect.
It is, but like, it's a.
Do you have an air fryer?
I don't. We have contemplated. I know I've seen some people who want one. or
So
have them.
we went to a wedding a couple months ago, and there was no microwave in our hotel room, so I brought my air fryer with us, and that was like
Was it worth
amazing.
it?
Oh my gosh. Yeah.
Information.
Yeah.
Maybe. Okay.
You need one?
Sure. I mean, I'm not mad about it. It's just I'll see, as much as like I have an aversion to more stuff in the kitchen, which I actually don't care.
Yeah.
But like, I'm sure it's the wife's aversion to more. Why do you need another computer? Like, that's not
true.
the point, baby. As long as you use it, I don't care.
That's true.
So
Very true.
So, rounding out, we talked about like foundation nutrition, small habits. What would be? Let me see, like one last question. We talked about like small habit changes, but like, what would you do? Other things to get people started on their fitness journey or their nutrition journey, I should say. What would be some helpful tips that they can just do, make immediate changes, and just kind of help them be like, this is not that intimidating.
Right.
You can make these small stuff, and then eventually you could talk to a subject matter expert like you, or I definitely would say, please come into Revival and join our community. We have every single resource here available.
Yes.
You have all the fitness coaches, you have all the nutrition coaches, we have 2 physical therapists on staff, we have Sarah in the back who's making a lot of noise. So if you're looking for just people who are making a lot of noise when I'm trying to record a podcast episode, we have that too. So
So I would say like eat mostly whole foods.
Okay.
Try to eat your body weight in grams of protein. So if you weigh 150 pounds, try to get 150 grams of protein.
easy.
Protein's going to be like the best thing for you for your diet. Sweat for at least half an hour a day. You don't have to do anything super crazy. You don't have to like lift any crazy weights.
Can you
but
talk
just
to I need you to talk to my son.
bring him in.
He was, dude.
How old is he?
14. He almost got choked out this morning.
Oh my gosh.
Because he's
By
this
you,
is day
hopefully.
2. Or the wife, doesn't matter. It was day 2 of his soccer tryouts. We're supposed to leave at 7:30. Who's not ready at 7:29?
Your son.
Yeah. So in any case, yes, 30 minutes of moving. What else?
30 minutes of moving. Drink more water. Get your steps in. And then I would say the biggest thing, and this is something that I've really been trying to like live by lately, or like do the things you don't want to do. Do the hard things.
Yes.
So like the other day we were doing a workout and one of my friends was here and she was like, should I use dumbbells for this workout or a barbell? And Kyle was like, well, which one do you not want to do? And she said dumbbells. And he was like, all right, you should do that one.
Yep.
So that kind of like resonated with me a little bit. And so I've been trying, like the other day we had that rope climb and wall walk workout. I was like, I do not want to do this, but I was like, you know what? That means I probably should.
Yes.
And I did it, and it sucked, but it was good. Like all of them.
Yes. I oddly. So it was wall walks and wall balls. 2
That
days?
yeah.
That one.
Yeah.
So I saw him. I don't like either of those things.
Yeah.
But I was like, well, at least both the things I don't like are on one day.
Get it out of the way.
Let's get it out of the way. Yeah.
And it was only 4 wall walks.
It was only, yes.
It wasn't that
yes.
bad.
Although Jeremy and I were talking about like if Kyle programmed 5, we were like,
Oh
what?
yeah, 5 would have been a huge difference.
It was like Jeremy was like, we're not regional athletes. Like, shut up. Nobody wants to do 5. But 4, he'd be like, all right, make it do 4.
Yeah, 4 is okay.
So I did them, and I was like, after just like you, I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this, but I'm going to do it.
Right.
And I tell athletes here all the time, I'm like, at least 2 to 3 times in the week in your programming, there should be something
that you don't want to do.
You don't want to do.
Right.
And you better show up on.
You
Don't
should
cherry
do
pick.
it. Right.
I don't like doing toe to bar. That's
Yeah.
why I program toe to bar. I'm not tall enough to do wall balls. I'm not good at it, so I have to do them at some point.
Right.
And I like shared misery, and so I'll do it
Right.
with the team.
Right,
Or whatever it is.
exactly.
And I think that we talked a little bit before we started hitting record about like getting comfortable being uncomfortable, like
Right,
you doing
exactly.
this on this. A little
Yes.
nervous before, but you're a natural here. So like you're gonna grow as a person if you can kind of get those habits in
Right.
there. That's good
For
stuff.
sure.
So last thing then is while we talk about nutrition, we now live in 2021. We have some advances in nutrition that can help you actually make some. If you can't get all of the nutrition things dialed in, as far as how you can. Busy lifestyles, whatever it is. Some people just like my wife. She can't. It's very difficult for her to eat like the exact grams of just heavy, dense protein for her to do that.
Right.
So, spoiler, product placement.
Ooh.
We have some of this. You guys, tell me about DMV Labs. This is like a new thing that's you guys been
So
releasing?
DMV Labs is Kyle and I's new supplement company. We launched in March. We just for the longest time, people were asking us like, where do you get your supplements from, or what protein do you use, or what do you recommend? So we were like, why don't we just start our own company so that we don't have to recommend people to other brands that like you don't know what's in their stuff.
Right.
So during quarantine last year, that was like one of our big projects because Kyle like can never sit still for more than 5 minutes. He always needs to have a
I
project.
didn't know that at all.
Oh yeah, no, not at all. But it's great. It's awesome. So we tested out all of the products and we launched, like I said, back in March, and it's been pretty awesome.
Awesome. Yeah. So it's one of those kind of things of you can go to any of the
GNC vitamin shop.
See, I like the one thing. This is a kind of weird thing for me. So you have good, classic quality kind of like
Branding,
labeling, yes,
yeah.
and branding. If you were having, if there was for instance, if there was like chains on this thing,
Oh,
I'd
no.
be like, I don't think you guys would do that. But if you did it, I would have to read it like that. I would be like, repair lemon lime. And I'd say,
I kind of like that.
dude, when I go into, and it has like the guy all like
Jacked up, yeah.
with chains on, with
Yeah.
like Martin, whatever it is, with chains on. And so I'll be like, and I go into GNC if my she's getting like some vitamins, whatever it is.
Yeah.
And I'm an idiot. I'm in the store. And I'm like, me and Ben now, we do it together. We're like, repair lemon lime. And we read all like the more words that are on there. All like the
That's so
effects that'll
funny.
happen.
Right.
My wife is like, stop doing that. I'm like, no, it's freaking funny. They want me to talk like that.
That's so funny.
No, but this is good. I also use supplements, and so like I said, depending on it's surrounding yourself with smart choices.
Right.
Like at night, if I need casein protein because I'm 20 something grams off, like
Right.
I'm watching American Horror Story. I'm like, here we go. I can hit my stuff.
Right.
It's also gonna help me recover
Yes.
at night because of doing 200 jumping lunges. Thanks, Kyle.
Oh gosh.
Dude, I woke up this morning. I
My
was like,
butt
yes.
is no good.
I told everybody, I'm like, the booty and the quads. are
yeah,
not
my
gonna feel
quads. I
good.
was just stretching 2 seconds ago.
Today's a rest day. It may end up having treated my best life having an Epsom salt soak later
Ooh,
tonight
nice.
because it just recover so I can coach and work out again tomorrow.
There you go.
Yeah, but yeah, DMV Labs. So I'm gonna actually join your guys' team and become an ambassador.
Let's go.
Yeah, so it's gonna end up being for the Content Elevation podcast audience.
Heck yeah.
I'm pretty sure I'm gonna make the discount code Elevation, and so you can hit up. What's the website they can go to?
DMV-labs.com.
DMV-labs.com. And so we'll talk about that. I'll put it in the episode notes. And so this can definitely be part of making it a little bit easier for your nutrition planning and goal setting. And so proud to, and I talked to Kyle as well. We're going to have you guys end up being the sponsor for the show all
Amazing.
of September.
I
Super
love
duper
it.
cool. I'll be making, I'll bring in my recording equipment and we'll do like a commercial or something weird like that. And
We'll have
so
to like drink some protein shakes while we're doing it.
Can we talk like that?
Yes.
No, but this is good stuff. I do appreciate you taking the time here talking
Of course,
nutrition. I'm
of
very,
course.
very important and foundational part of anybody's fitness regime for the
Yes.
military audience. I'm not kidding. Like we need to get this stuff dialed in. We're starting to come back to doing our PT tests again. Now your COVID shenanigans hopefully you dialed it in over the time. But if you're around here in the Gambrels area or just in the greater Baltimore, Maryland, Annapolis area, whatever you guys call it here.
Yeah.
Come join us at Revival Fitness. We got a lot of good stuff going on in here. You can help me maybe be a background. Hey Sarah, come here. Just come on. Really?
You can't
Or
not
don't.
now.
I don't. If you don't want to come on camera, that's fine.
No, you do.
We have like these shenanigan characters that is just kind of a nice change of pace. And so if you want to be a weightlifter, if you want to be snappy, you're going to be snappy today, right? Snappy?
Super snappy.
Yes. What are you doing now? Back squats? Front squats. Okay. We'll get back to front squats. Don't feel over here. Get off my show. Get off my show. All right, Taylor. So go ahead and drop off like some of the how they can get in contact with you, the gym, all that jazz. Just so if they want to get started on the nutrition journey and you're available, how can they get contact you?
Email taylor@revivalfitnessmd.com.
Cool. Okay. And so I'll put more contact stuff in the show notes and everything like that because I know we have all of the.
You can find us on Instagram at revivalfitnessmd. Send us a message. Either Sarah or myself will get back to you.
Awesome.
Or email.
Well, cool. Well, thank you again for joining me on the show. This is nutrition stuff. We sort of jokingly talk about it here amongst the gym, but I think most of us know that we try and dial it in.
Yeah.
And having fresh ideas, different kind of things. Did you try this Crunch Wrap? Now I need an air fryer.
Oh my gosh.
That's fine, I guess. I'm just kidding. But yeah, for the rest of Content Elevation podcast episode, we'll talk to you next week. Peace.
See ya.